Welcome back to 5-Minute Bible Study. This one is a little bit of a conundrum for me because all is well and fine for the first 5 verses, but then the 6th verse seems to go against what the first 5 verses said. So we will just read it and go through it. I will leave the 6th verse out for now, and we'll deal with the first 5, and then I'll come back. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye, and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, "Ooh, let me take that speck out of your eye," when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite! First, take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. So we'll pause there. And so I like that he kind of seems to say, all right, if you're going to pick apart people and whether they're doing it right or wrong or good or bad or whether they're worthy or unworthy, you're going to get the same treatment. Ironically, you're going to get that same treatment from yourself. You pick apart others because that's how you pick apart yourself. And I know this is true because I beat myself up often. How you look at people is how God will look at you. The critical eye that I use is the critical eye that God will use. The harshness, the pickiness, the unforgiving, unrelenting spirit that I have for others, I will get the same from God. The lack of grace and mercy and compassion, I will get. And to be honest, I would hate to be judged by me because I'm not a nice person. And I'm harsh. And I don't extend a lot of grace to myself or to others. And so I would hate it if God looked at me and critiqued me the way that I critique me. I don't know if you want to take a second and think about how you think about yourself, how you analyze yourself, how you analyze others. And can you imagine if God treated you the way that you think in your own head? Why do you look at other people's struggles and small mistakes, only the speck? Because actually all you're seeing is a speck. They may very well have a log, but you on the outside only see the speck. But you pick it apart like it's a whole plank. And even though we can't even see the plank they have in their entirety, we go judging people's specks all the time. And we don't have a clue what that whole plank looks like in their life and the struggle that they deal with. But we pick apart this little speck. And you act like you don't even have a whole log in your own eye. We act like we have 20/20 vision. And we put contacts in so people think we have 20/20 vision. And we walk around looking all holy and mighty and like we have the right to judge. But we've got failed vision. We've totally got failing vision. How can you help anyone with their own struggles while you are ignoring your own weakness and sins, your own struggles? Why do you act like a healer and a miracle worker when you yourself are bleeding out and dying? And it just feels like I am often going around and offering band-aids for paper cuts and freaking out that someone's going to die, someone's going to royally screw up because they've got these little sins in their life. And I'm worried about these people getting blood on my couch and wrecking my life, that their little specks are going to impede on me and my godliness. But meanwhile, I have a complete rupture and I'm laying on the couch like I'm totally fine. Like I'm not in an emergency. Like I don't have wounds or ruptures or broken parts. But I have wounds and ruptures and broken parts. I do, and everybody does. There's not anybody who's not bleeding out. God forgive us if we don't stop and realize this, and I'm talking to myself. We can be so arrogant and delusional. We need to deal with our wounds, stop our bleeding, get ourselves to the healer and the miracle worker before we try to go and act like one ourselves. There is only one healer, and there is only one miracle worker, no matter how good we tell ourselves that we are. We are not the trained, experienced professional. See and start working on your own sins and weaknesses. Come to the throne of grace and experience God's compassion and His grace for myself, for my ruptures and my broken parts. Once I experience that, once you experience that, then we will learn from that and we'll be able to help others with their specks. Because now we'll know how to be gracious and compassionate because we experienced it. Or at least we'll know how good it felt to receive grace and compassion. And we wouldn't want to withhold that from somebody else. Because I need it so badly. Do I really think that there's anybody out there who doesn't want it as badly as me? Everybody's struggling with something. No matter how fine we look on the outside, we're all struggling on the inside. And how dare I ever act like I don't, or act like your struggles are way beneath mine. I'm going to get to that controversial verse tomorrow.